trusted news source, ABC6 News at Noon.
Good afternoon. We begin this noontime with breaking news. A Providence man now facing charges from the Capitol riots back on January 6th. 35-year-old Timothy Desjardins is accused of assaulting police officers using a dangerous weapon, among other charges. He is the same man who had a standoff with police on Atwells Avenue earlier this month. The FBI says he is the first individual in the state of Rhode Island to be charged in the investigation into the January riots. Desjardins remains held at the ACI. We're also following developing news in Attleboro today, where police are investigating a drive-by shooting. Police called to Holman Street after 8 last night after an SUV fired shots toward a house. We know at least one house was hit by gunshots. The mayor, Paul Heroux, is calling on the public for help in identifying that shooter. Anyone with information should call police. And a retired Superior Court judge will now be investigating the former basketball coach at North Kingstown High School. After some back and forth, the town council voting last night to hire Judge Susan McGurl to review the investigation into Aaron Thomas, the coach, accused of performing naked fat checks on athletes. The Attorney General's office is now investigating his behavior as a coach.
I'd like to very respectfully ask that something gets taken care of quickly. I think there needs to be an independent investigation from you all, not from the school committee, lawyer, or investigator.
Hiring somebody to review other investigations seems like a waste of money to me. It seems as though you're a group of intelligent people that could review the investigations yourself.
The judge will make a recommendation to the town council about where to go from there. And a former Rhode Island principal is under investigation for having a second job as an assistant principal in another city. Michael Redmond was named in a notice of violation from the Office of Government Ethics. The former principal of E-Cubed Academy in Providence admitted to working a second full-time job at a middle school in D.C. He worked similar hours for both schools during his 17-week double employment, working in Providence while working remotely in D.C. We now know the funeral arrangements for Pilgrim High School principal Jerry Habershaw. He died of a heart attack over the weekend, and according to a statement from his brother on Twitter, he was battling COVID at the time. Visitation will be Friday from 3 until 7 at the Thomas and Walter Quinn Funeral Home in Warwick. His funeral mass for relatives and friends will be Saturday at 10 at St. Kevin Church. It will be live streamed for others to view. A GoFundMe in his memory has raised over $10,000. 2 dogs found on the side of the road in Portsmouth severely malnourished and neglected. Police say they had received a call about it on Thanksgiving morning. These dogs were quickly rescued, and now the search for the person responsible is underway. ABC6 News reporter Laura Puglisi has more on that story.
Well, those 2 dogs were rescued right here at the Gardner 70 Sports Complex. Police don't know how they got here or where they came from, but only one of them survived. Today, we got to meet that dog who survived, and she's now recovering at the Potter League for Animals. And of course, since she was found on Thanksgiving, her name is Gravy.
She's really sweet. You know, sit down with her and she just curls right up. She wants attention. She really is just constantly soliciting people to pet her and love on her.
This sweet pup named Gravy is now safe, begging for love and attention after being neglected and abandoned.
She is extremely thin, so she has really no meat on her at all. You can see every rib on her body, and that just doesn't happen overnight. It takes weeks for a dog to lose that much weight.
Gravy ended up at the Potter League for Animals after police found her and her sister Thanksgiving morning. A caller reported 2 dogs alone and severely malnourished at this sports complex. Police rescued them, naming them Turkey and Gravy, but sadly, Turkey did not make it.
I'm thankful that she was found when she was, because she might not have lasted much longer and she might have suffered the same fate as her sister.
Days later, Gravy is shy, scared, and in rough shape. But Brad Shearer, CEO of the Potter League for Animals, says she's a fighter. She's putting on weight and slowly recovering. He hopes in a few weeks she'll find a family to adopt her.
We just want a place where she's going to get the love that she deserves. You know, she is a really sweet dog. I think she could be great in someone's home. Obviously, she was with another dog. Maybe she'll have another dog friend. But most important to us is just a place that's stable and cares for her.
As Portsmouth police search for the person responsible for ditching the dogs, Shear wants to remind people that there is help for anyone struggling and that it never has to come to this.
Just want people to know that if they're struggling and they need help, we have pet food we give away to people who are in tough financial straits. If they can't care for their animals anymore, we can take them and take care of them and find them new homes.
And of course, they hope to find the perfect family for her as soon as she's fully recovered. We'll keep you updated on when adoptions open and where to look. Reporting in Portsmouth, I'm Laura Puglisi, ABC6 News.
Now to news new at noon today. An early morning crash in Cranston leading to a power outage. National Grid on scene in front of the John O. Pastore Center working to replace a telephone pole that was knocked down during the crash. It caused a power outage in the surrounding area. As a result, all traffic tribunal sessions for today are canceled. Anyone who was supposed to appear today is asked to come in tomorrow or call the city clerk's office. We turn now to our coverage of the coronavirus and the concern over the Omicron variant. Health experts saying today that it may take weeks to fully understand the variant and its potential to spread. ABC's Eka Jachi is in Washington with the latest.
Health experts around the world are united in an effort to attain more information regarding the Omicron variant. It's already been detected in 18 countries across the globe.
We are quickly trying to figure out in South Africa, is this in fact more contagious than other variants? It does look like it's spreading quite quickly there.
Dr. Francis Collins of the National Institutes of Health says the biggest question surrounding Omicron is if the available vaccines will offer the same level of protection against it, a question that can't be answered right now.
That is not something you can do overnight, no matter how hard you try. So people need to kind of hang on here for a couple of weeks.
President Biden, speaking to the nation Monday, says the variant is a cause for concern, but not a cause for panic.
If people are vaccinated and wear their masks, there's no need for the lockdown.
The CDC strengthening its recommendations, now saying everyone 18 and older should get a booster 6 months after their second dose of Pfizer or Moderna, or 2 months after their Johnson & Johnson single-shot vaccines. The president promising all 3 vaccine makers are preparing to update their vaccines if necessary. Still, communities around the country are preparing for the worst. New York City issuing a new mask advisory Monday, urging everyone, vaccinated or not, to mask up in public indoor settings. In New Jersey, Governor Phil Murphy telling the Garden State to get boosted.
We must be ready now in anticipation of this variant hitting us.
The Omicron variant hasn't been detected in the U.S. as of now. Still, COVID continues to tighten its grip on communities. In Minnesota, hospitalizations rose 50% in the last month. Couple that with the nation's highest case rate, and you get a hospital workforce at wit's end.
Morale remains low. It seems that we've gone from the most trusted profession in the world to the least trusted.
ABC News learning that in the coming days, Pfizer will ask the FDA to expand access to its booster to include 16 and 17-year-olds. Eka Jachi, ABC News, Washington.
All right, now to the weather as we take a live look outside right now with our sky cam. Some bright skies out there, but unfortunately, Chelsea, our friend the sun isn't doing a whole lot to make us feel any warmer out there today.
Now we're closing out the month of November, if you can believe it, with another really chilly day outside, very similar to yesterday. Now at times you're seeing some sunshine, at times you're seeing some clouds, and I do anticipate those clouds to thicken up a bit as we head into the afternoon and evening hours. Temperatures right now only about 40 degrees, maybe a degree or two warmer than where we were yesterday at this time, but you have to factor in the breeze coming in of the west-southwest now, which is typically a warmer wind direction. We'll feel that tomorrow, about 13 miles per hour, making us feel more like the low 30s. So be prepared for a chilly day, that's for sure, across southern New England. We're going to continue to see these temperatures kind of staying in that upper 30s, low 40s range as we head into the remainder of the afternoon. Most areas right now in that upper 30s, low 40s range. On the satellite radar image, you can see more clouds off to our west and a couple little flurries showing up. I'm going to track the potential for a couple little flurries or a few little isolated sprinkles, a lot of that drying up before it even reaches the ground, but not out of the question into the afternoon to see a few flurries around the area. We stay mostly cloudy and a little bit warmer overnight, slightly warmer conditions in the coming days. I'll have much more in just a few minutes. Doreen?
All right, Chelsea, thanks. Coming up next, a look at day 2 of the trial of Jeffrey Epstein's longtime companion, Ghislaine Maxwell. Plus, Bradley Cooper opening up about a terrifying encounter he had on a New York subway back in 2019. And Barbados officially becomes a republic. We'll take a look at the ceremony held to welcome the country's first ever president. Back now with a look at some national headlines, and it is day 2 of the sex trafficking trial of Jeffrey Epstein's longtime companion, Ghislaine Maxwell. The government calling its first witness this morning a former pilot of Epstein. Prosecutors in the case are portraying Maxwell as a predator who created a network of underage victims for Epstein to sexually exploit. Maxwell's lawyers argue that she's being used as a scapegoat for Epstein's abuse. The trial is expected to last about 6 weeks. Maxwell faces 6 federal charges. Actor Bradley Cooper is opening up about being held at knife point in a New York City subway in 2019. The actor shared the story with Dax Shepard on the Armchair Expert podcast. Cooper said he was picking up his then 2-year-old daughter from school at the time. He didn't notice the stranger approach him because he was wearing noise-canceling headphones, sunglasses, and a hat. But then Cooper said he saw a blade. He was able to take photos of the stranger before getting away. He showed police. It's unclear, though, if that person was ever caught. Barbados officially transitioning from realm to republic. 55 years after gaining its independence from the UK, the nation cut its final ties with its former colonizer. A ceremony held last night as Barbados swore in its first ever president. Prince Charles was invited as a guest of honor, along with pop star Rihanna. Well, coming up next, Durfee High School opening up an entirely student-run restaurant on campus. We got a sneak peek inside the kitchen. And those morning pancakes could cost a little more this winter. My maple syrup producers in Vermont say supply is running low. In consumer news, it is a big week at Durfee High School in Fall River. On Thursday, they will officially cut the ribbon on their brand new, entirely student-run school restaurant. ABC6 got a sneak peek inside that kitchen. It's called the Granite Grill, labeled as a 5-star restaurant, and it is run entirely by Durfee students. From the waitstaff to the chefs, these kids are getting major culinary experience before even going to college.
They are thrust into society, and they are being taught the skill set to master it and to go after graduation to be career ready.
I think that is what makes this place unique, is being able to see it, then do it, then produce it for the public. And I think my students are just having a ball with it.
As far as revenue goes, we're told they are just hoping to break even. Money in the tip jar goes into a student activity account in the hopes of using it to take the kids at the end of the year to a 5-star restaurant in Boston. It might cost more to put real maple syrup on your pancakes this winter. No, this isn't another supply chain problem. In fact, this issue is the weather. Vermont syrup producers say it's making it hard to gather enough sap. To get the most, producers need warm days and freezing nights. And unfortunately, there weren't many of them this year. The Vermont Maple Sugar Association says most producers made only between 40 to 70% of their usual crop.
And now, your ABC6 Storm Tracker weather with meteorologist Chelsea Priest.
Well, it's certainly a chilly day across southern New England today. We've seen a lot of sunshine all morning. Some clouds are rolling in right now, and the temperatures themselves are about 40 degrees in the Providence area with a feel-like temperature of 33, thanks to that breeze that's coming in from the west-southwest around 13 miles per hour. Now, in the could-be-worse category, this is the view from the Mount Washington observation deck. The feel-like temperature on top of Mount Washington right now is negative 21 degrees, so at least we're not that cold outside, but it is certainly a chilly end to the month of November. About 40 degrees right now, upper 30s in most locations, 38 in Newport, 39 in New Bedford, 38 in the Westerly area, 38 for Block Island as well. The average high for this time of year is 48 degrees. So many of us running about 10 degrees cooler than average. Our sun is going to set at 4:16 p.m. We'll see more clouds rolling into the area. We'll stay a little bit warmer overnight and into the coming days, especially with this breeze now coming in from the west to the southwest. In most locations, that breeze from the southwest will help warm us up a bit into tomorrow. Nothing extreme, but a little bit more seasonable. Right now, a 5 to 10 mile per hour wind speed is making us feel much cooler. Most of us have wind chills in the low to mid 30s. So prepare for this as you're heading out for your lunch hour. If you're heading out this evening, the temperatures are certainly feeling much cooler and the air is incredibly dry. The dew points right now are in the teens. We typically talk about dew points in the summertime when they're in the 60s and 70s and it feels so humid. Dew points in the teens is some very dry air, and that comes into play when we look at the radar image because there is a little bit of flurry activity showing up just off to our west. What happens is a lot of that inches closer to us, but it kind of dries up before it can actually reach the ground. So there's the potential for a few sprinkles and flurries possible as we head into the afternoon and evening hours, but a lot of this won't even reach the ground when it does cross over southern New England. We just see more clouds into the afternoon and evening hours, and that will continue into tomorrow morning. We should see dry conditions overnight, and tomorrow kind of a blend of sun and clouds. Again, will be a few degrees warmer, mid to upper 40s, which is seasonable for the first day of December. We head through tomorrow night, clouds increase, and Thursday will be our warmest day in the 7-day forecast. That's going to come with more clouds and some scattered showers. I don't think the day's a washout. A lot of the day is rain-free. The breeze picks up. We have some showers in the morning, another round of showers later in the day and into the evening. That system comes through and we cool right back down again for Friday. Low 40s today. We had sunshine to start. We're getting some afternoon clouds coming in. Can't rule out a few sprinkles or flurries, but all in all, the majority of the day does look precipitation free. Again, the air is very dry and a lot of that moisture is getting eaten up before it even reaches the ground. Partly cloudy and chilly overnight, a few degrees warmer than what we saw this morning, upper 20s and low 30s. And then tomorrow, a mix of sun and clouds. It stays chilly, but a bit more seasonable. Highs in the mid 40s range. 7-day forecast shows temperatures in the mid 40s tomorrow, mid 50s on Thursday, but that comes with some scattered rain at times. And then we're windy as we clear out on Friday and chilly as we head into the upcoming weekend. Doreen?
All right, Chelsea, thank you. Pick of the litter is next at noon. Today you'll meet Prissy, a 2-year-old schnoodle, up for adventure.
Pick of the Litter, brought to you by Moriarty's Invisible Fence.
Welcome back. It's Tuesday. That, of course, means it's time for Pick of the Litter. Wayne is here, and Wayne, you're here with a sweet little schnoodle, a schnauzer poodle.
She is a schnauzer poodle.
I love it.
Her name is Prissy. I did not pick the name. She came to us from a cruelty situation in Georgia. One of our cooperating agencies there shipped her up with a couple of other nice young dogs. She's 2 years old. She's a spayed female. Okay. She is really well behaved. She's good in the car. She gets a little bit yappy when she gets excited, okay. But she calms right down. She knows her sit, I think.
Yeah, we were practicing a little bit.
Come on, sit, baby.
She's a little distracted now.
She's
she
not
knew it a minute
right
ago.
Now. She was automatic a minute ago.
A minute ago I said it and she sat right down. Can you sit?
And,
nope.
And she has been evaluated by our trainer. We think she's good with just about any family. We don't know how she is with cats, but she's got some experience with dogs. Okay. And so any family with kids 5 or up, we think Prissy will be great.
She's small too. She's a little girl.
She is small. She's 2 years old, so she's not going to get any bigger than this.
She's a little girl. All right. So we need to find Prissy a good home. We also have a fun event going on this weekend at the RISPCA. Pet photos?
We do. We have an event called Walking in a Whisker Wonderland. I didn't pick that name either.
I love it.
And what that is it's an opportunity to come and get a professional portrait done for your animals. We'll have some food trucks and some fun arts and crafts, and it's a great pre-holiday event. It's going to be right at our shelter at 186 Armoral Street in East Providence.
I love it, and that's from 10 to 12 this coming Saturday. I'm going to be heading over there myself to come say hi to everyone.
Excellent.
And also, one last thing, it's Giving Tuesday. We always love to give to our friends at the RISPCA, so keep that in mind, and hopefully we can find Prissy a good home. You can contact the RISPCA to find out more. Thanks, Wayne.
Thank you.
All right. Coming up next on ABC6 News at noon, it is National Giving Day. How people across the country are coming together to help their communities. And we're going to check back in with Chelsea, too, for another look at that afternoon forecast. Well, finally, this afternoon, today is the National Day of Giving, the first Tuesday after Thanksgiving, designated as a day that Americans give back to their communities. People nationwide will be donating to their favorite charities or nonprofits. A lot of people volunteering as well. I'm sure everybody has a favorite charity that they like to give to today.
I think so.
Yeah.
I know. It is always nice after all of the spending that goes on between the day after Thanksgiving, Cyber Monday.
Yeah,
nice
make
to
all
give
well
back.
with your
exactly.
spending soul.
Exactly. Come full circle
exactly.
there and do some good. That's awesome. We are looking at a chilly day outside. More clouds coming in this afternoon. Temperatures only in the low 40s Tomorrow will be more seasonable, the first day of December. We have 50s on Thursday. That's going to come with scattered showers. We clear out pretty quickly into Friday, and we cool right back down. Chilly temps.
Too quick, Chelsea.
Yeah.
Too quick.
A little chilly.
All right, that's going to do it for us here at Noon. The news continues first at 4. Have a great afternoon, everybody.